Hey guys, it's Cami. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I wanted to do a get ready with me using the JACLYN Hill X Morphe Volume 2 palette. So I know there's a ton of videos out there about this palette and reviews on it and swatches, so I didn't want to do just a review and a swatch. I wanted to do a get ready with me and talk about something that's really affected me throughout my whole life, and I think that affects a lot of people. And I talked about a lot of personal things, and I really want to start opening up to all of you guys about my personal life and my values and, you know, what's going on in here, because maybe what I'm feeling is what you're feeling, and if I can help someone, that's great. So if you want to see this eye look or about something that really has been part of my life for a very long time, just keep watching. So I'm starting off with my eyebrows already done, and now I'm gonna go in with the JACLYN Hill x Morphe Volume 2 palette. This is the outer packaging. This is what the palette looks like. Very sleek, very white and clean, just like JACLYN. This is what the palette looks like. I'm sure you've all seen this palette. I have the first one and I really like it. I don't use it as much anymore, but when I first got it, I took it on a trip and it was all that I wore, and I created so many pretty looks. But I just have so many palettes that I don't really reach for it as much. I don't really like big palettes because it just gets very overwhelming. So I'm gonna create a look with this, and I'm gonna tell you all the colors that I use and let you get ready with me. So I'm gonna start off with priming my eyes using the Instant Age-Rine Concealer by Maybelline. So I know I'm gonna be talking a lot throughout this video, so if I don't say an item that I'm using, I will link it down below. So for today's Get Ready With Me, I wanted to talk about weight and my body confidence journey and my weight loss journey and my fitness journey, whatever you want to call it. I just really wanted to talk about that. And I think the best way to talk about it is to go from the very beginning. My genes, my family genes, were not naturally skinny. We have meat on our bones. My family has a long history of diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. So, you know, naturally being skinny is not in my books. I would have to work harder than a lot of people to be able to maintain a body that society would consider thin. I remember at a young age, I was always overweight. In the summer, throughout like elementary school and middle school, I would gain like 25 pounds every time, which is kind of understandable because you're growing, right? But at some point you stop growing. So my eyes are primed now. I'm gonna take the JACLYN Hill palette and I'm gonna take Certified Shade all over my eyes as my base. So yeah, it didn't really become a problem until about middle school, or I at least didn't notice it being a problem until middle school. There was just this girl that my mom's friend's daughter that was the same age as me, and we'd always hang out with each other during like family parties and stuff. She was always the skinny one, you know, and I was the fat one. I hate using that word, but in the context of my mind back then, that's what it was. So we would take pictures together and she would be the skinny one and she'd be the pretty one in society's mind, and I would be the fat one that hid under baggy jeans and big jackets because my body was just fat. And you know, it's really sad to think that at such a young age, I was already thinking about that. But that's how it is, and that's how it is for a lot of girls, because what society thinks is pretty, we all want to be, you know, we all want to be pretty. So I'm going to put on some of the e.l.f. Line and Define eye tape. The summer before high school, I decided that I wanted to be skinny. Now I can't say if it was for the right reasons or for the wrong reasons, but I just knew I wanted to be not fat anymore. I remember back in 8th grade, I was in PE, and obviously being fat, PE wasn't something I was very confident in. I remember we were running back and forth from the gym, and I started running and this guy tripped me. Now, I don't know if it was because I was fat and I, you know, fell and jiggled. I thought it was because I was fat. I'm sure it could have been any number of reasons. It could have been because I was fat or because he thought it was funny or whatever. But to this day, like 10 years later, I still think about it. That started the whole, I want to lose weight, I want to look better, and all these things. So the summer before high school, before my freshman year, I decided I wanted to lose weight. And I didn't do it unhealthily. I did it pretty moderately okay. I'm gonna take a little bit of Comfort Zone and Perfectionist, these two shades right here, for my transition color. I started marching band, which, you know, is a form of a workout. Yes, I was a bander, but it was a form of a workout, so that was probably the first consistent workout that I've had all my life. So obviously that helped, and then I was eating less. I remember grabbing a plate of food, and if I didn't eat half of it, if I threw away half of it, I was happy for myself because that means I ate less, you know? And I know that's bad because there's people starving in other countries, but in your mindset of being thin, that's what was it, because you just wanted to eat less. Every time I would eat, I would get smaller. I'd have this big portion and then I'd only eat half. And then I'd get a smaller portion and then only eat half. And then get a smaller portion, only eat half. And I can't say that it was healthy or not because I'm not a nutritionist, but in my mind, that's how I was to get skinny. And I instantly started losing weight. I think within a year, I lost 40 pounds just with, you know, marching band and eating less and all that stuff. And I never starved myself. I want to say that. I never, ever starved myself. I never had an eating disorder. I've never, people who have that, I am just so amazed by them because they've went through such a hardship. But I don't want to put myself into that place saying that I know what an eating disorder is because I didn't have it. But I definitely was just eating less, still eating, but eating less. And I started losing weight, and people were going, "Oh, Cami, you're so pretty, you're so skinny, you're so thin, you look so good in that." And I loved it. I got a high off of it, off what my body looked like. But it wasn't good because I started defining myself based on my looks and my weight. For all of high school, I was skinny, whatever you want to call it. And when I got to college, I got into a very toxic relationship, and it was hard because he never made me feel like I was good enough. College is already stressful. You are balancing friends and school and work and a relationship. A very, very toxic relationship didn't help any of that. So, you know, it only got worse, and I started gaining weight. He was the type of guy that could eat anything and wouldn't gain a single pound. So he would eat ice cream and all this junk food, and I would eat it with him because we were together. But he just never made me feel good enough. And I can talk a whole nother story about him. He's a whole nother big spiel about it. But I just started gaining weight, and when in high school, you know, everything was about my body. Everything was about how I looked and my weight. And when I started gaining weight, obviously that went completely downhill because I didn't see myself as pretty anymore, sadly. I'm gonna go in with the color next and put it on my outer corner. So I was gaining weight due to all the stress and the, you know, hardships and stuff. It also didn't help that people started commenting about my weight gain. I remember one Mother's Day, we were having a family party with all of, you know, our family friends and stuff like that, just to celebrate Mother's Day, which my family always does. But I remember I hadn't eaten all day because I was helping get ready for the party. I was prepping food. I was setting up for everything. When we have family parties, my parents go all out. So it's like this whole feast. And so we spend all day prepping and cooking and all that stuff. So I spent the entire day helping prep the food and help clean. By the time the party started, I was obviously really hungry, but I didn't want to eat because the table, you know, the table wasn't ready. I didn't want to like just dig in, you know, obviously. So I started eating some peanuts that were on the table. And I was just sitting there eating, and then a family member came up and goes, "Stop eating that. You're gaining weight." And I couldn't even believe what they had said. So I got up and I walked, it was outside, so I walked inside into the living room and I just started crying, because at that point I was very, very insecure about my weight, and comment didn't make it any better. I went back out and I didn't want to eat. The food was ready and I was like, I don't want to eat. I just want to like sit here and like just watch everyone else eat, because I was obviously gaining weight. And my sister, as she is a homie, she was like, I'm not going to eat until you eat. And I didn't want to do that to her, so I got some food with her and I ate. But that was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, and I still remember it. And it affects me to this day to think about it, and it affects, you know, how I see things. Comments like that versus when I was skinny were different, you know. They were like, oh, you're so pretty, oh, you're this and that, and it went from those comments to, oh, stop eating that, you're getting weight. Oh, you're fat, you're ugly, you need to go and tone your thighs a little bit more. I've had a lot of comments about my body since I gained weight, and I hated my body. I didn't want to be in my body. I would look back at pictures in high school and just cry, because I didn't know how to get back to that. And it was just really sad, to say the least. So I want to deepen the outer corner a little bit more. So I'm going to take Crazy, this bottom purple darker shade, and maybe a little bit of Tempest, the black one. So these two shades right here, and put them in the outer corner. Fast forward to about summer 2018, I had just broken up with my toxic boyfriend of 3.5 years. And I was in the whole, you know, love yourself, you're gonna do better, and all this stuff. In my mind, I wanted to just lose weight, because that's how I knew I was gonna become worthy. Started going to the gym, tried to eat less like I did in high school, because that was the only way I knew how to lose weight. And I can tell you it got very, very, very toxic. Yeah, I wasn't happy. And I know now that, you know, that's not how it should have been. So going into 2019, I was trying to lose weight and I was trying to be happy, and I started watching videos of like Sierra Schultze and Carrie Dayton, who are all about body positivity and about my body. I was essentially following people and striving to be someone that I can't be. Like all these fitness guru people who, even when I was skinny, never looked like that, you know? And so I started following more like Carrie Dayton and Sierra Schultze, who are about body positivity, but like mental health and feeling better about yourself and all these things, and how weight is not your worth. And so I wanted to be like that, and my mindset started changing. I started feeling better, and I signed up for a gym. So I didn't end up taking that Temptress shade. I didn't end up taking that black shade. I only took the Crazy shade and put it in the outer corner. So now I'm gonna take Bougie, this shimmery shade, put it all over my eyelids. If this shade isn't as sparkly as I would like it, I will spray my brush. Yeah, I'm gonna spray that. So I started signing up for, you know, workout classes. I signed up for Pilates, which is so expensive, and I had to end up stopping that after 3 months because I couldn't afford it anymore. I was doing it for all the wrong reasons. Now looking back, I wanted to be skinny, I wanted to look pretty. That's not how it should be. So December of 2019, so 3 months ago, I hit a really, really bad slump. I had gone to the gym in about maybe 3 months at that point, and I was feeling bad for myself because, like, hello, like, my worth was my body in my head, and I wasn't working out. I don't know. I didn't know how to get out of the slump. I didn't know how to get back to motivation. I didn't know how to get back to happiness. I was just kind of like living in this slump and just living in this sadness, and I didn't know how to get out of it. Winter break, my friend, who was my workout buddy before, she lives about an hour away from me, so I don't see her that often. We can't like work out all the time. She came back home for her winter break because she is in college right now, and she was like, okay, we're going to the gym. And I was like, do I have to? Do I have to? I really don't want to. And she's like, no, we're going to the gym. Like, you're gonna work out with me because I don't want to. She has a personal trainer, so she didn't want to lose her POR. So she basically forced me to go to the gym, which, you know, at the time I was like, ugh, whatever. So I went, and I know this is really dramatic, but she saved my life. Like, she made me fall in love with the gym again. You know, I started loving the gym, not for my weight and nothing about my looks or anything. It was solely because the gym made me feel better. It made my headspace better. When I had severe anxiety, I went to the gym and I felt better, and it was like a therapy session for me, and my mind just switched. It went from, you know, I want to go to the gym so that I can lose weight, to I'm gonna go to the gym because it makes me feel better. I'm gonna go to the gym because I want to look my best and be toned and stuff. And it was more, when I come out, my head is clear. And if I missed a day at the gym before, I would beat myself up and say, oh, you're gonna gain weight, you're going to look fat, you're just this and that. And it went from that to, if I miss a day at the gym, like, I'm gonna, you know, not that my mental health is gonna go down, but it's okay. Like, you know, you can get back to it. It's not about that. Like, you're busy. Like, my mindset just completely took a 180 within like 2 weeks. So you know, starting the new year, and I hate to say it's a New Year's resolution, it just so happened to be at the same time as the New Year's. I'm gonna take crazy again and redefine my outer corner because I lost it when I put that bougie shade on there. I started going to the gym about probably 5 times a week, which I know is excessive, but it was honestly like I was craving that good feeling and just happiness and, you know, wanting to be better and hitting goals for myself. Like, oh, can you go 5 pounds higher today? Can you squat 5 pounds more? Can you lift 5 pounds more? Like, it just became this thing where I was proud of myself and my happiness. And I tell you, it completely 100% changed. And it's incredible. It's amazing to me how my mind was before. Like, it was so toxic, and I'm so happy it changed. I'm so happy it changed. I'm gonna take Perfectionist, the one in my crease, and just blend out that crazy shade. 2020 changed. I started my YouTube channel, which I've been wanting to start for probably years, but I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Like, if you don't start now, when are you gonna start, you know? So I started that, and I've never been this truly happy, I can say, in my entire life, probably at this point. I'm gonna take that Certified shade, the brow bone shade, and just highlight my brow bone. It's so hard because I want so many of my friends and so many people to be where I'm at right now, just like happy with my body and knowing that all I can really control is my health. And I don't want to go into these extreme diets. I don't want to go into guilt about not working out or only working out because of my body. I want it to be organic and to feel that I'm going to the gym because it's for my mental health. It's for me to be happy mentally, not just happy physically and being happy with the way I look. It became more of for my mental health. So I'm starting to remove my eye tapes, and I'm going to blend out the edges so it's not as harsh. I don't want too harsh of a edge, so I'm just blending the edges. And then I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. So I was watching this video today of Demi Lovato and Ashley Graham, who, by the way, are probably 2 of my most inspiring celebrities because they've been through so much and so much negativity about their bodies and the way that they look and about their worth based on their bodies, and they're just such inspiring people. So when I saw an interview with both of them on YouTube, I watched it this morning, and I haven't finished it, but one of the things that Demi said that really struck a chord with me is it's not about body positivity. Like, yes, you're beautiful, this and that and whatever, but It's about body acceptance, looking in the mirror and saying, I'm healthy and I accept that. I accept my body because I'm healthy, and that is all that I need to be. I don't need to be this skinny, thin, what society views as beautiful in order to be beautiful, because my body is not my worth. My worth is my personality, how I value things, how I'm kind, and that just struck such an amazing chord with me, and I loved it. Now for concealer, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover Foundation in 228 Soft Tan. I guess this whole spiel is your worth is not based on your body, and you are beautiful just the way you are, and don't kill yourself at the gym just because, you know, society thinks that's how it should be. I go because it makes me feel better. It makes me feel my head clear. You know, going to the gym should never be about losing weight and wanting to be this absolute stick thin, or, you know, this perfect body that society makes. It's about your health and wanting to have a clear mind and all this stuff. And 2020 has changed so much for me, and looking back, like, no, I don't wish that, you know, people had called me fat, and I don't wish people had called me ugly, and it made me stronger. It made me who I am. And the guy I'm with now, I used to not feel good enough. Even when I was thin, I didn't feel like I was good enough. Guys would always leave me for someone that was thinner and someone that was prettier in my mind, you know? And I never felt good enough. I never felt thin enough. I never felt pretty enough, tall enough. Not that it matters, but the guy I'm with, he just makes me feel so worth it. And it makes me so happy because he likes my personality, and he likes my body, and he likes who I am. And I've just never felt good enough until this year. It's so sad to say, but yeah, it took me 23 years to feel good in my skin the right way, to feel good in my skin because of my personality and who I am as a person, not because I am this thin body that can fit into anything and look good in absolutely all my clothes. And like, when I was skinny, I didn't have boobs or a butt or whatever, but I was skinny. And now, thinking, wait, I have boobs and a butt, and by golly, do I have curves, and it makes me who I am, and it makes me beautiful. And I wish I could tell that to people, and for people to just, your weight does not define your worth, and your goal should just be to be healthy, because that's all that matters. You're never gonna be, you know, you're never gonna look like that perfect Instagram model. You're never gonna look like that celebrity on that cover, because one, it's probably edited, and two, like, your genes are just not like that. Everyone is unique, so no one's gonna look like each other. I stopped following people that I know my body type is different. I stopped following people that would only make about your body. Like, it wasn't about body acceptance or body positivity. It was like, oh, work out because you need to work out, and you need to be this thick, stick thin with abs and skinny arms and stuff. Like, I'm never gonna have skinny arms. Are you kidding me? Like, even when I was thin, I still had like beefy ass muscle arms and beefy ass muscle calves, but that's how my genes are. That's how, you know, my family is. I just know that this is my body, and I need to accept my body for the way it is, and I do. And it's such a beautiful thing. I can't explain it. It's crazy to me to think that, like, I've been striving for this for so many years, and only now, like, it literally just clicked all in like a week. It's absolutely insane to me. So now I'm gonna go in with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. So that is my weight story, weight loss story, weight story, body confidence story, whatever you want to call it. But I'm still on this journey, and I'm still trying to find, you know, happiness, because I went to my friend's college prom, I guess you could say, and I was wearing a dress, and I felt that's the first time I felt insecure in 2020. And it was because like the dress was a straight dress. So my little pooch was sticking out, and it made me feel very, very uncomfortable because there was just so many beautiful girls at the prom in beautiful dresses, and I was over here like, oh, my little pooch, you know, my little food baby. Looking back at the pictures, like, I didn't care what I looked like. I didn't care about it. All I cared about was my little pooch. So I'm still on this like body confidence journey and trying to understand my body and how I feel, and for the rest of my life I will be fighting those types of thoughts because that's just how society made it, sadly. But it's important to me to not stress myself out because I am not this thin, perfect, what society considers perfect body, and I am beautiful for who I am and my personality, and that's all that really matters. And it is what it is. I mean, the gym is for my mental health, not to lose weight and to punish myself if I don't go one day because I just have so much to do, or my body's aching because I'm just exhausted. It's not about that. It's just my mental health, and I just want happiness. And that's very important to me. Like, I'm always like, you need to choose your happiness. You fight for your happiness because sometimes that's what you gotta do. I am still on this journey to find my body confidence, and I just know that I am in such a good place with everything. So now I'm gonna go back into the JACLYN Hill palette and finish my lower lash line. I'm gonna take that crazy color again and drag that in the bottom lash line. I just, you know, wanted to emphasize that your worth is not your body. Your worth is not based on how smart you are or how thin you are or how toned you are. That doesn't matter, you know, because in hindsight of things, that always changes, that always can change, but your personality and who you are as a person doesn't change, and that's worth way more than your body and your weight, because you're beautiful. You're just beautiful the way you are. And if society wants to say otherwise, go ahead, but you're beautiful just the way you are. Just like Bruno Mars says, you're beautiful just the way you are. And everyone's gonna have a hard time with their body confidence because society will never make you feel good enough. You'll always be, even the thinnest person will always want to be something different. And you could want someone else's body and they could want your body. You just never feel good enough. And I want you and everyone else to feel good enough because you are good enough and I'm good enough. Now I'm gonna take I'm In It, this color right here, and put it in the inner corner. The shade is so interesting because in the pan, it's like a white color, but it's like stark pink, stark purpley pink when you put it on. It's such a cool duochrome. Now I'm gonna finish it off with the Better Than Sex mascara by Too Faced. So I guess what I'm trying to say is love your body for, you know, what you've been through and what it's been able to do for you. And always, always, always choose happiness. If something doesn't make you happy, choose something else, because at the end of the day, what else do you have? You have happiness. Just love yourself, love your body, and love who you are as a person, because who you are as a person is amazing and worth more than anything else in this whole entire world. And I know that's so cheesy to say, but it's so true. It's so, so, so true. So now I'm gonna finish my lips off with the Disney Designer Collection X Color Pop Luxe Liquid Lip in Beast. And I'm gonna take the Milani Make It Last setting spray and set everything down. All right, guys, so this is the look using the JACLYN Hill X Morphe palette. I do love this palette and I do recommend it, and it's very similar to her first one, so I just wanted to put on an eye look using all of these gorgeous, gorgeous colors. I want to leave you guys off with Demi Lovato saying that it's not about body positivity, it's about body acceptance. Just looking in the mirror and saying, I'm healthy and I accept that, and I accept what you look like now, and just loving yourself for who you are right now. So love yourself, love every part of your body, every stretch mark, every roll, because that makes you who you are, and don't ever forget that. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. So I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.